Yeah, guys, I'm as clear-headed as I've been. You guys think that this is the ramblings of a madman. I'm as free and easy and ready for the future as I have ever been watching the Browns. And I know there's still more to go. We are not out of the woods, not by a long shot. But you asked me, well, Ken, aren't you going to come in here and celebrate if they beat the Jets and Dillon Gabriel plays well? I go, he probably... I don't know if it takes that much to play well against the Jets after what's just happened. They'll probably put together some game plan and get in his way. But if they beat the Jets, I'll be glad because they won. I'm not going to root for losing. That's never going to happen. I'm never going to do it. Somebody needs to hold something to a standard here. Wanting to lose has gotten us nothing but more losing for the last 30 years. It's the last thing you can root for because you have nothing else to root for a team that doesn't give you anything in a season. So when you root for losing, that's the only thing you can do is try to look for the future. The problem is that the people actually in charge of it, who perpetuate it, they're just begging for more time. That's all that becomes. It's always easier to a person who doesn't want to put anything together to ask for more time than it is to actually do the work. In the great words of the great Anthony Lima, at least on that day, any idiot can tear down a football team. And there's still more tearing down to do. But now might not be the right time to do it. I ain't getting rid of Wyatt Teller. I still got to put Dillon Gabriel back there. And maybe I'll be surprised. Maybe he will throw for 325 and 2 touchdowns the way that Tone kind of gave me the scenario up. He probably won't. But if he does, I'll still come in here and say, okay, great outing. You had a very nice outing. Now let's see what you do against the Ravens. Let's see what you do against a team that is trying to actually do something this year. Against a team that came in with expectations that's trying to get off the mat. Let's see what you do there. Because I don't think you're going to do much. But if they just go out and they beat the Jets 17-10, and it's more of the same, no. We'll play Super Bowl Super Browns, and I'll be happy
will we?
that
Are
they
you
win.
Sure?
I'm sure you guys will.
Sounds like that.
I'm sure you guys will, just to make me look bad, because I might sit there and go, great, that's great. And I'll be happy, but I'm not going to... Our issues are not going to be solved. God, I mean, how many times have I carried the water for players that I thought were going to be good that just ended up being terrible? Terrible. How many times when am I going to learn my lesson? When do I get a chance to have my lesson learned? Because you guys never let me do it. Donovan Peoples-Jones. Oh, Ken, well, this is a 6th-round pick. And you only got 1,000 yards. Hell, that's the one sort of pseudo-win Andrew Berry can have out of the draft for that stuff. No, it ain't going to happen. It ain't going to happen. I'm glad they didn't make trades, because I still want to evaluate where they're going to be with some of the young guys. And plus, if you guys don't trust Andrew Berry, which it seems 90-something% of you do, then why would any of you trust him to go ahead and make those trades? Unless, boy, you really think he's really good at tearing a team down, but not really good at building it up. Okay. If you don't trust Kevin Stefanski, okay, fine. Why would you? If we're not doing that, then fine. Let's get to the end of the year. Let's see if they make the changes that we deem necessary, and then let's see if they make some trades. And it might elongate this situation. But damn it, just because the Jets decided that they wanted to press the nuclear option, they're in a different place than we are. They got rid of Joe Douglas. We have not gotten rid of Andrew Berry.
Yeah, they got
rid
GM.
of their head coach. They got a new one.
They have the new GM that came in and said, we are not as good as the prior regime thought we were. Mm-hmm. We have to go in a new direction.
216-474-0092. Don on the road, you're first up on the Fan. Hello, Don.
Hey, Ken, how you doing this morning?
Doing wonderful, Don. Go right on ahead, friend.
Hey, I don't think you're going far enough, buddy. This is a must-win game for us.
It's a must. Well, tell me why.
If we're not tearing them apart by halftime, Dillon Gabriel needs to go, and Kevin probably too.
Well, I mean, they're still pros. They're still. I mean, I know.
Get Shador in there and see what he can do.
Well, he didn't even. We got to find out what he does today, because yesterday is a day off by the league. And Don, thank you for the call. If he's got a bad back, he ain't going to play. Bailey Zappi might be your backup, right? Am I right?
Well, he's on the active roster now.
Right. Bailey's on the active roster, correct? Okay, so
had to be put there. Right?
Yeah, so I think Bailey Zappi would probably be your backup. If you just want to say Bailey Zappi needs to go in there because you need to see anything other than this, okay, fine, because they're 2-6. So if you want to go ahead and say that, that's perfectly fine too. They're both career backups, so they're just backing up each other. Dave and Rittman, you're next up on the Fan. Hello.
No, we don't need to lose, and we don't need to get rid of Miles either, because look at Dallas. You know, they got rid of Parsons, and now they're trying to fix their defense, and they're having a hard time doing it.
Well, they're all over the place. So they're a great example of just going around in a circle there on defense. I got to tell you that, Dave. But I got to see where we're at the end of the year. You know.
Hey, another thing.
Yeah.
Another thing. Dillon can't do the Stefanski offense. Okay, we can see that.
Yeah.
Why don't they let him be an option quarterback where he gets out of the pocket so he can see what he's doing and either throw the ball down or option it off to the running back or whatever?
Dave, I got to tell you what I saw on Sunday, 2 Sundays ago against the Patriots, and thank you for the call. I don't even think he could do that, buddy. I like at that moment, I don't know if he could play the position at that high of a level.
Well, I
don't know what type of offense you want to put him
more
into.
than just the quarterback to be an option guy
Of
in
course
an
you
option
do.
offense?
Yeah, well,
yes, you do.
Breer also on the afternoon show yesterday said that Tommy Rees is going to be bringing in potentially more college concepts. So maybe you'll see that with Dillon Gabriel. Maybe you'll see some of that stuff.
No, because it'll probably make it easier on either Dillon Gabriel or Shador Sanders, yes.
Just a quick clarification. Bailey is not on the active. I think he has 3 weeks that they can bring him up. Remember, they did that with Flacco when he first came.
Okay.
Flacco was technically on the practice
Well,
squad.
if Shador can't go, you have to have somebody in there as a backup.
He'll be up there
Ain't gonna
as
be
the backup.
Ain't going to be the other guy.
Yeah, but the window might be opening.
Breer was talking about that yesterday. We'll put that up there for you here in just a moment. Here, Breer01, 216-474-0092. Here's Albert Breer yesterday on Afternoon Drive about such an issue here with Tommy Rees in the offense.
Like, I'll be honest, it's been like one of the worst offenses I've seen the last few years in the NFL, right? Like, I mean, it looks like in certain ways they're having trouble running what's called. I think what this can do, it takes a little bit off of Kevin. It allows him to take a little bit more of a global view of things, and it gives Tommy a shot to show what he's got, and maybe be a little bit more creative in some of the things that they're going to do. Maybe put in some more like college elements, which is his background. Run some of the stuff that maybe has been melded into Kevin's offense over the last couple of years, and throw a little bit something different at the defense. I think it also, like in a season like this, can help like rejuvenate the players a little bit. Like, okay, we're going to be able to do some new stuff here. We're going to be creative in certain ways maybe we weren't before. And not to say Kevin's not creative, but like maybe it gives you the opportunity to do some things Tommy likes. In a season like this one, I don't think it's a horrible thing, and we'll see where it leads the Browns.
I totally agree with Albert. I think it's all up for grabs. I think that this is an attempt to try to clarify things. I think that this is Kevin trying to admit that, yeah, maybe his offense, he's got questions with his own offense and whether or not the guys that he has at quarterback can actually run that offense, because, hell, Joe Flacco couldn't seem to really even run that offense. Now, again, I know that they have different weapons in Cincinnati, but, again, who's in trouble for that one as well? So we throw that into the mix. I think it's all up there. I think Tommy Rees, I brought this up at the end of the show yesterday, and you didn't bat an eye at me. You did not say that was stupid at all. Where I said this is a team that has tried to overly try to learn from their mistakes. They end up in the same place, but they almost overcorrect some of the mistakes that they've made. Like, I guarantee you, if they draft a quarterback in the first round this year, which I'm almost certain they will, there's going to be a time, more than likely, because these quarterbacks are up and down, you may look at this and go, this guy ain't the guy. They are going to run him into the ground to make sure that he doesn't turn into that guy down in Tampa again. They will definitely do that. I can guarantee you, like my life's on the line.
Yeah, they're going to
unless he turns into Johnny and can't actually play.
They're going to overcorrect, and they're going to stick with somebody that's probably not all that good.
Maybe. And I'm telling you right now, don't think for a second that Tommy Rees, being the offensive coordinator here for the final 9 games of the season, is not some sort of a audition in the heads of the ownership. You said it yourself. Kyle Shanahan, young, bright offensive mind, walked out of this building off to San Francisco. Everybody misses him. Kevin O'Connell, young, bright offensive mind, walked out of this building. I think he ended up in a couple of places. Ended up over there in Minnesota. Does a good job over there in Minnesota. Don't think for a second that Tommy Rees at 33 years old, and I'm not over the moon. I'd probably rather have a Kubiak if we're going to do that, one of the kids there. But don't think that Tommy Rees can't impress them enough where he becomes the guy. If he's able to get these, Dillon Gabriel looks lost. Dillon Gabriel looks like he's never played the position at times. In that Patriots game, he looked like he wanted to be anywhere else for a moment. And if it's Dillon Gabriel or Shador Sanders, and either of them look that much better, and my cynicism ends up being wrong, yeah, Tommy Rees is going to be considered. 100%. They will definitely do that. 216-474-0092. 8 o'clock, we're going to go around the AFC North. I'm just telling the truth of how it is. This year, this is an evaluation, and I'm never going to take anything off the table. From what Dave and Rittman had said, I'm not going to take anything off the table in the wintertime. I'm glad they didn't make the moves right now because I still want to evaluate some guys with my prime players. I still think Miles is going to be worth the same amount he's worth right now. I think that Denzel's going to be worth the same amount he's worth right now. If we end up losing David Njoku, we'll still get a compensatory pick somewhere in there back from David Njoku, which hopefully will be commiserate with what we were going to get back. Somebody yesterday on the fan, or 2 days ago on the fan, said second round. That's nuts. I don't know who said it, but they're nuts. I'm going to hand it over to you now. There is a theory that you told me about that was bandied about, and I went, well, okay, it's just going to be Anthony Lima with Ken Carman now. I want you to take her over. Right on ahead. I
saw yesterday, once it was becoming evident what was happening with the Jets, that now they are springing straight ahead into Tankathon 2025. I mean, the point spread went from the Browns as underdogs. We talked about it all day yesterday. Like, how could we be underdogs to the Jets? Well, we're no longer underdogs after those moves. We are now favored. I think it was a 4-point swing. You rarely see that.
Yeah, I've now got Browns minus 2.5.
Yeah, unless a quarterback is injured, you rarely see any kind of a swing like that. So Vegas just thinks the Jets are going to quit. They're not trying to win. And you saw some of the other players in their reactions with the Jets, like Breece Hall. I think even Daryl was able to weigh in on that in real time yesterday with Jonathan in the afternoon, which was a absolute delight hearing that on the air. So... reading tweets.
Oh, you mean this?
The fabulous thing on X right now is the 5 stages of grief for Breece Hall. The latest, sick about my brothers, man. Happy for them, but man, I'm sick right now. Well, no, I'm quoting.
No, I got what you're doing.
That's exactly.
No, funny when you said it.
Well, no, that's what he wrote. So I wanted to be specific and relaying what he wrote while also clarifying he means brothers.
You did a good job of being specific there.
I felt awkward saying it.
You should have. It sounded as awkward as you felt.
Sick about my brothers, man.
Jonathan.
Well, no, I'm quoting.
No, I got what you're doing.
That's exactly.
No, funny when you said it.
Well, no, that's what he wrote. So I wanted to be specific and relaying what he wrote.
Daryl has done that for 13 years of the last 14 years, and he has always done it like that. I'm just clarifying what they wrote.
Well, no, I'm quoting.
No, I got what you're doing.
That's exactly.
No, funny when you said it.
And we've all just stared at each other and stared at him, and then we've also sent audio of Daryl over-explaining everything to each other over 13 years, and finally someone stepped in. Gotta do. Anyway,
so clearly,
well, no, I'm quoting.
No, I got what you're doing.
That's exactly.
No, funny when you said it.
So the Jets, they seem to be down and out about their chances. Their fans were just, oh my God, we're definitely, even if they supported the trade, they're like, why even watch the game?
I think their fans are ready. Yeah, I think their fans are ready for the future. Yes.
Yeah. So that happened yesterday, and then I noticed there was a fraction of the Browns fan base that wasn't too thrilled about what that means for Sunday's game between the Browns and the Jets, more specifically. How now this has become an advantageous situation for the starting quarterback this week, who they thought would be on his last legs and would be on his last game before getting removed so their quarterback could take over.
I'm not going to act like we're talking to only Browns fans here because that would be totally a lie. I know that we're talking to a lot of Shador only fans, and they jump in and they will.
I see him in the chat right now.
I got to tell you, it does seem like we've even if this doesn't work out with Shador, I hope it does. But even if it doesn't, it seems hopefully we might be able to keep a few of them. I know a lot of them will just move on about their lives, and we thank you very much for the time that we spend together at this moment.
To a CFL fan base that has a YouTube live.
You gotta. You say that, and then you're going to make me defensive, and then we're going to.
Toronto's got a big fan base. They'll welcome it.
I already spent. I told you I want to send Mitch up there to Sportsnet. So, anyway,
But you do get it, right? Like when you want your guy to get an opportunity,
guys, have some comments.
You want the other guy to be bad.
Guys, look at it. What did I just tell you, though? Listen, I'm a Browns fan. I want any quarterback ever. There's been quarterbacks that I've liked personally. There's been quarterbacks that I've really disliked personally. I'll tell you this. I wanted them all to be good. I wanted them all to be good. I am tired of looking for answers. I'm sick of it. He ain't going to be the answer. It's a matter of time. If he plays against the Jets and they win, like, first off, I don't know how well he's going to play. If he plays well against the Jets and they win, fine. But I told you this an hour ago, and I'll say it until the cows come home tomorrow and Friday as well. If they go out and they beat the Jets, I'll say, great, you beat the Jets. Now show me what you do against the Ravens at home, young man. It's only a matter of time. He's a career backup. There's no reason for me to say terrible things about the young man and root against the young man. I hope I'm wrong about it, but I'm not going to be. I hope he does well. There's no reason because of that for me to be mean-spirited because I'd like to see Shador Sanders at some point. We'll get to see Shador sooner and later. I disagree with Ross Tucker. Ross says he hasn't played that bad over 4 games. I don't know what the hell Ross is looking at, have to say. But eventually, the chickens are going to come home to roost. Just because they lost Quinnen Williams and just because they lost Sauce Gardner ain't going to change much, and all of a sudden he's going to throw for 400 yards. If that were the case, then the Jets should be much better than 1-6 or whatever the hell their record is right now. If they could do that and all of a sudden he's going to throw for 400 yards, my God in heaven. They should have the greatest defense. They should make the 85 Bears look like the 2025 Bengals right now. So I don't want to hear any of that.
But you've seen it, right? You've seen the reaction to how bad.
I actually haven't. Okay, I really haven't. I swear to God.
Because my algorithm is definitely force feeding me these consistently 24/7.
I thought your algorithm was just forcing you the mayoral race in New York.
Did pay some close attention to that yesterday and what happened in Virginia and what happened in other places. School board in Lake County. Anyway. Listen, the important thing to note is that they are loving every cut-up on the internet, the Shador fans, of how bad Dillon Gabriel's been. And they have been making fun of him. Heck, was it Shiloh that actually made fun of, he compared somebody to just how short Dillon Gabriel was at some event?
I didn't see that.
Oh, yeah. So they're enjoying this. They are absolutely loving how bad he's been. So if he's good or has a good game, they feel like it's going to be another excuse for the Browns to not play Shador Sanders, where they think he's being held back, where they think he's being sabotaged, where they think the Browns are conspiring against their guy. As crazy as it sounds, that is how they feel.
There's no conspiracy against your guy. I agree with what Albert Breer said yesterday. At some point, it's going to get to a point where all he has to do is just look good in practice. All he's got to do is look like he can just conduct the offense. He does not have to look better at some point. He will not have to look better than Dillon Gabriel. He'll just have to look like he can conduct the offense, and they will eventually go to Shador Sanders. But the game against the New York Jets ain't going to change nothing. Whatever happens, I mean, if he goes out there and he's just terrible against the Jets, maybe Shador would play against the Ravens. But I really think that this is 2 more weeks almost no matter what. I think he'll play against the Jets. I think he'll play against the Ravens. I don't think I don't think he's going to do as bad as maybe we did think. We'll give people that about without Quinnen Williams and Sauce Gardner. But I don't think it's going to make a big difference. Again, you brought up numbers for me that I said, what you wanted me to say?
I said 25
I'm going to celebrate or not celebrate.
325, 2 touchdowns.
And I just said those aren't realistic numbers. 325 and 2 touchdowns is just not realistic.
Unless you are a big believer in the new OC or the new play caller, I should say.
It'd be great. It would make Kevin Stefanski look absolutely horrific, but it would be great, but it ain't going to happen. So I don't have to do that. And fans, you guys don't have to, why be so petty? Why root against Dillon Gabriel? Ain't done nothing to me. I don't need to root against Dillon Gabriel. He's not done anything to me. I don't need to root against Dillon Gabriel to get Shador Sanders in there. It's just going to happen. So I hate to tell all the Shador fans, and I appreciate you guys watching us, but you guys don't need to be mean towards Dillon Gabriel. It's going to happen. They're playing the Jets on Sunday. The Jets are a tanking team, but he ain't going to look that much better.
In a way, what Ken is saying is absolutely meaner. He's basically saying he has no chance.
I'm not being mean. I'm being honest.
Well, that's what I'm saying, but that to me is probably even more mean. Like, you don't think he has a chance in hell to develop or become a better player.
No, he can be a better player. He can be a better version of a career backup. What I saw against the Patriots, he can certainly be better than that.
No, you're just putting a limitation.
Yes,
on
of course
career.
I'm putting a limitation. The whole reason why I do want to see Shador, it's not about this unbridled love where I just want to I just want to drink his bathwater or anything else like we always get accused of. No, if we're 2-6 and you drafted this young guy, and he does have a massive fan base, I'm not going to deny that, but you drafted this guy. There's one, I liked him because I liked his dad. Obviously, that's true. We've been over that many times. Two, there's definitely got to be a higher ceiling. There's so many things that would tell me he has a higher ceiling than Dillon Gabriel. Three, you can't say you're not curious. You're curious because the media, ourselves included, we had him going in the first round. As we got closer to the draft, well, maybe he's not going to be top 5. Well, maybe he's not going to be top 10. We didn't think he'd fall out of the day. We didn't think he'd fall out of night 2, and then he gets drafted in the 5th round. I want to see who's right. I want to see if the media was right, if the fans were right, or the NFL was right, because clearly there's a chasm between them. But I don't need to be mean towards Dillon Gabriel. I'm just being honest towards Dillon Gabriel. And if if the anti-Shador fans or the fans that love Dillon Gabriel, which I'm sure there are a few, can't handle that, well, then I'm sorry. I don't mean to tell you the truth in a nasty way, because I'm not trying to be nasty. But I can only tell you how I see it, and how I see it as a guy who's playing well before he should have played. Now, that's not necessarily his fault, but it's playing way before he should have played. I'll claim some responsibility just as a commentator on that. I was wrong and thought that Joe was used up. Maybe it's on Kevin. Okay, I'll meet you halfway on that. He's playing early. He looks overwhelmed. He shouldn't look overwhelmed after some time. I would like him to take a seat and look at the field and get his breath back and be able to take care of himself. I hope that the bye week has done that for him. But no, I think that he can just be a better version of a backup quarterback. For Shador Sanders, I don't know what he's going to be. But I think that I got a better shot at a guy who can be a decent-armed, accurate franchise quarterback than what I would have had with Dillon Gabriel. And even the people who swear up and down and cuss us out on social media who claim to hate Shador, I think you guys know it in your hearts. I think you guys know it in your heads. If you were gonna pick a guy who has a better chance to be a franchise quarterback in this league, I know there's plenty of guys who go, whoa, look at the whiteboard. All that. No. Come on. You know which one you would pick. Even if you hated him, eventually he'll get his crack. It's not going to happen after the Jets game, I don't think. It might happen after the Ravens game. But it's going to happen. I don't need to root against Dillon Gabriel for it. Weird show.
Well, it's because we didn't have a lot of
weird-ass show.
We didn't have a Denzel Ward trade, a Njoku trade.
Nope.
Although I got to say, Njoku would have been interesting because he does have fans. Because he's been here so long.
Oh, yeah.
What year is this for Njoku?
18.
For the Browns.
The same as Miles. They were in the same draft. Year 9.
God, 9 years of Njoku. Is he on the verge of... I know we've had one unbelievable Hall of Fame tight end. Is he close to any kind of production numbers in the history? He's just been here so long. You know, guys don't get a chance to really do that.
If this team was a really good team, I think we'd be like... And welcome back, David Njoku, like that type of thing. But since they're not a really good team, it's like, oh, remember David? Like years from now. Hate to say it. That's true. Like Joel Bitonio broke the start streak, things like that. I think guys like me who really like offensive linemen and stuff, like will go, oh, man.
He's currently 3rd in yards.
Okay.
All time?
Yeah, for the Browns.
For the franchise? Who's ahead of him?
Ozzie Newsome. Ever heard of him?
Well, obviously. Yeah. And then who?
Milt Warren.
Okay.
He's ahead of Kellen Winslow and Gary Barnidge and Ben Watson.
Did Milt Warren have as many quarterbacks thrown to him as David Njoku? Ozzie certainly didn't.
Well, let me open the Warren files here.
Okay. Albert Breer was on yesterday. I want 03, by the way, because this is where it's going to start getting ugly here. We've argued all day whether or not they should tank, whether it should be a tanky team. Now, I've said, for fans who want to tank, I don't want to sit there and call you losers. You have no power over it. I have no power over it, and all you want is some light at the end of the tunnel. You want to win eventually. I've been taking calls from dads who are at their wits' end about their organization, about the Browns organization, and them trying to make their sons Browns fans. And I hear you, I feel you, all those things. So I can't sit there and call you guys a bunch of losers when all you want to do is have something to look forward to and win and enjoy it. I don't need to sit down and break inverted cover 2 with you down. Let's just go out and win some football games, and we'll talk about it later. And it's easy to have fun that way. So I don't blame you on that. My argument is for the people who are the inside football people, who claim to be inside football people. Again, tell me the organizations that really, truly, like there's years that teams have bad years, and they end up with good players when they already had good players. But there's plenty of teams, they win and they just keep winning. They traded up for their guy. They found the right guy. They just keep winning. They have the right people in place. Yeah, it's going to take a little bit of luck. Did the Chiefs think that Patrick Mahomes was going to be that good? That good? They thought he was going to be good, definitely. This good, I don't know. The Bills thought Josh Allen was going to be good. To do what you did, I don't know if they thought he was going to be that good. So it takes a little bit of luck, but you have to have some know-how. The teams that try to win seem to always win. Where the teams that have bought into a losing culture in the past, they still lose. Jets, Commanders find themselves on very difficult times. I know what you guys want to bring up about last year. Look at what the mess has been this year. And how Jaden Daniels has not been able to help them overcome that because they've had a couple of injuries in key spots.
Well, that's a good point. Think about how Cincinnati and Washington both hit the jackpot at quarterback, and Cincinnati won right away.
Yeah.
And what has it been since? Yeah. Some of it's out of their control, obviously, but even healthy, Burrow's lost a lot of games when healthy.
There's a lot of people love to throw the Bengals in my face, and I go, okay, yeah, I know they went to the Super Bowl, and all their fans think that they wasted their time. Because, again, things get in the way. And when you don't try to build a complete team and you don't know how to be winners, you're going to have a problem with that. Yeah, they got close. Joe Burrow's that good of a quarterback, and you should have taken advantage of it while he was healthy. But if you would have had a little bit of a better team and made a bold move or something of that nature, you might not have been in that situation in the first place. Like, Joe Burrow's great. And I'm sure you'll have fond memories of him while you're out on your leather ass while you continue to lose. And he continues to get hurt. But Washington, Cincinnati, Cleveland, Miami, New York, the Jets always seem to be in the same place when they don't have Joe Burrow. That's how I know Joe Burrow is elite of the elite and one of the ones of ones, because you're able to raise that boat. And I just don't want to turn this into a situation where we have to raise that boat. I mean, you guys want to go back to the Baker situation? Yeah, you want to know the main problem with Baker Mayfield? Our whole main problem with Baker Mayfield, we expected way too much out of him way too soon, and it blew all our minds because we put all our eggs in the tanking basket, and so he had to be something he wasn't. Now he's in Tampa Bay, and what is he? He's a good, strong-armed, tough quarterback with weapons galore, and he's able to go down the field. And if we would have just been looking for a tough, strong-armed, competent quarterback who's able to go through and go down the field with a two-step drop and just rifle it to good weapons, we'd be in a much better place. But we needed a guy to be a messiah. And there was too much given too soon, too much power given too soon, and we ended up losing it. Well, that's the lesson we need to learn.
But I think the hardest part of this, Ken, is feel like we have tried, since this station has been on the air, we've tried tanking. We've tried just thinking we were delusional and going to win every year and had mediocre years.
Yeah.
We've tried everything you can try. We've even had some winning, on a very small scale relative to the rest of the NFL. But we've had some good years and then tried to follow up on it by, quote, going all in. It's like nothing has worked. And I think that's the frustrating part in all of this for Browns fans.
216-474-0092. So do you think that there were mistakes being made? Because we got to look at the next step and go, okay, where do we go from here? Because if they're going to be in evaluation mode, I'm going to be in evaluation mode. I mean, you guys attacked me earlier today. I'm not trying to... I love to have fun, and I love putting on a show, but I'm going to be a real evaluating you-know-what coming up on Monday.
I've just never heard you
sit here and
sound
do this.
Like this. I've never heard you, because I know Ken is always the last one to ever fall in line with the tanking crowd, or a loss is a good on a Sunday, because we come on Monday and we want to have fun, and we never have fun when they lose, no matter how entertaining a loss is, no matter how unbelievable, mind-blowing loss, how could they do this? No matter what, Ken wants to come in positive, joking, laughing, and having something to feel good about for an entire week. And when I told him that based on the Jets trades yesterday, we went from 2.5-point underdogs to one of the worst teams in football to now we're favorites. And I saw a lot of Browns fans saying, maybe we don't want to win this game.
So I'll tell you this. I think you do want to win the game. I think you want to have some culture. We'll find out what they do in the offseason. Maybe you find Tennessee's going to probably be open for business. You don't want to give up on Cam Ward. You may finish behind them when it comes to the draft situation. Maybe you make some big moves. Maybe you want somebody they want. I don't know how that's going to work, but you'll be able to move up, I believe, because you'll probably have new people in place because I don't know how they're going to keep everybody around, but you probably have new people in place. But let me explain this. This is why I'm going to be this way, because I don't want Mondays after a Browns game to ever be fake. If I feel that way, that's what I'm going to tell you. So I hate to be it. I'm just going to have to turn off social media, and it's going to be tough to take the calls because I think some people are going to want to goad me into it to where I over-exuberate everything when they just beat the Jets. Not going to do that. If they're going to evaluate, then I'm going to evaluate. And I'll come in and say, I'm glad they won, but Dillon Gabriel played like garbage. Or I'm glad they won, but Dillon Gabriel still needs to prove it if he plays well. Hopefully he does. If he plays well, he still needs to prove it against Baltimore, not against a team that's reeling because they are in an open tank and they just gave up two of their biggest players on defense. I hope he's able, as a backup quarterback for a career, take advantage of a team that just gave up its best corner and its best defensive pass rusher. I hope that they're able to do that. We'll see. I hope that he's able to. That's me being very honest, because if I come in here and I am whooping it up, and I'm calling for the music, it's just going to be a show, and that's fake. Okay, I'm not going to be fake.
I get that, but I've just never heard you, unless it's like week 17 and Driscoll's in, or whoever we've started in some of those last weeks of the year. I've never heard you this early in the year. It sounded like you were poo-pooing if Gabriel had a great performance this week.
Because he's not. I don't think he's going to.
Yeah, but I gave you the stipulation. Like, I understand. If he balls out in a big way.
But I didn't think it was a realistic stipulation. And even if that becomes realism.
How bad you think he is.
If he throws for, what did you say, 320?
325.
If he throws for 325 and 2 touchdowns, I will think I have died and gone straight to hell. But I will tell you this. Oh, maybe heaven. We'll see. If he goes for 325 and 2 touchdowns on my dead mother who's in my basement in a box of ashes right now, I will come in here and go, nice performance. Let's see if you do it against a real football team that has real aspirations here. And if that means I'm the biggest bastard in Cleveland on Monday, then that means I'm the biggest bastard. I only want what everybody else wants. I want them to be a good football team, not just win a couple of Sundays a year. I want them to be a good team with a good chance that has a chance and be competitive every year. So I'm going to call it how it is now. Now, I can't guarantee how it's going to be before week 1 next year. I know I'm an excitable person. But I'll tell you right now, I can talk myself into a lot of things. I'm not going to lie to myself coming up on Sunday. Kickoffs at 1 o'clock. If they do well against the Jets, good. You know what? You have one of the highest paid defensive ends in football. You have one of the most expensive defenses in football. I expect you to go out there and beat a team like that. I expect Justin Fields to not have the same performance he did against one of the worst defenses we've seen, like against the Cincinnati Bengals. I would expect you hold yourselves accountable to this. But if you don't, it's going to be more of the same, and I'll be even nastier. But if they do win, congratulations. You've won another game. Now let's see what you do against Baltimore. I'm just going to evaluate and be honest. Because if I fake it on Monday and they look like hell and they still just grind some 12-9 win out, no. I'm not doing the thing. The best thing about us being on YouTube is that people actually see us and know that if there's a lot of things that you can accuse us of. This ain't no act. I ain't going to lie to anybody. Jim in Strongsville. Hello.
Hey, listen, Ken, I just wanted to take one thing with you. Do I think there were still some people out there that were unsure about Baker? I don't think it was a patience thing. I 100% blame Kevin Stefanski for the Baker thing. Because, listen, if they would have just sat Baker when he got hurt instead of marching him out there, letting him look like garbage, I think fans would have had a different perspective.
Well, then that's probably a little bit of Andrew and the ownership as well, don't you think? You can't just blame Kevin on that. You can't just blame Kevin.
I don't just blame him, but I think it's hard to say that there wasn't some kind of rift between those two when Baker came out and publicly criticized.
You're right. But you already said you blame 100%, and then you go, well, it's not all him to blame. The other people share blame too. Well, okay, you can't blame Kevin for everything. So what are we saying about Baker here, Jim?
But what you were saying was perfect, though. Let's say you did sit Baker. Let's say you sat him. You would have had a bad record. You would have had a bad team, drafting pretty high with your quarterback coming back. I can't help but look at how different things would have been. And here's the thing I don't want to do. You brought it up, and I think it's 100% right.
What?
Is I don't want to get into next year with a coaching GM on the hot seat and draft a quarterback and be 1 year in, not even 1 year in, 7 games in and realize that we got to get rid of all these guys. And then we got a quarterback starting with a new coach, new GM, new everything. We're right back to where we started 6 years ago. And I don't want to have that happen.
I know, but it's probably going to go that way. You know that.
That makes me sad and want to cry.
It is sad, and it should make you want to cry, but that's where it's going because, hey, right now you're in arrears because of the contract that you signed with the new quarterback that you got. Thank you the old quarterback that you got right now. 216-474-0092. Until that gets out from under, we got a lot of making up to do. So hopefully we can get a guy in here. Either it's going to be Dillon, probably not. Could be Shador, we'll see. Or it's going to be a guy who's playing in college right now. I mean, that's as simple as it gets. Dave in Cleveland, hello.
Yeah, I just want to say, I just think the Browns need to tank. What are we playing for? You know what I mean? We're not making the playoffs.
What are you tanking for?
Hopefully a quarterback.
When has it ever worked?
You're right, but we can't. I mean, you're right about that. I ain't gonna lie, you are right about that.
Thank you, Dave. But Dave, I'm not saying you're an idiot or anything like that. That'd be disrespectful. And I know you just when you say you want a quarterback, you're tired of losing. You just want a chance every week, right?
Facts.
Because if you like a Chiefs fan just knows as long as I got Patrick Mahomes, I'm in every single game and I'm probably going to win every single game. That's a beautiful feeling to have. That's a comfort. But Dave, we're getting to the point here. I'm not just going to evaluate the Browns. I'm going to evaluate everybody. I mean, I got to start making arguments for quarterbacks. And right now, it's a big crapshoot. I mean, you're going to have about 4 or 5 guys in this draft who are going to be quote unquote first round grades. We got to figure it out with one of these guys. Dave, thank you for the call. 216-474-0092. Chuck in Middleburg. You're next up on the fan.
Chuck.
Hello.
Amigos, what's up, guys?
Hi, Chuck.
Hey, shout out to Owen, man. I think he was on last week. He had a lot to say. He need to get some more airtime more often, man. He be having some nice little
We'll allow it.
Owen, speak.
It's just a couple things I want to say. Gabriel, do y'all notice? Well, you can see the pressure on his face that he has on him. This dude never smiles. I mean, it's crazy. The pressure is not from him being so short with the gravitational pull because, he's a short dude. I do want to say this. This is what I think about Kevin Stefanski and as far as him. When he has playmakers, he has struggles with them within his system. He's a tell you where to throw the ball type of guy. If you notice, I think before Jameis took over, that's when he handed over the play calling to Dorsey.
Mm-hmm.
What happened from that? So I think, if you look at Gabriel, he's just going where Kevin wants him to go with the ball. And if you look at Shador in the preseason, he was threading needles, probably throws that Kevin wouldn't have wanted him to make. But when you don't have a coach that lets you, look at Josh Allen and look at Mahomes. You just said something about those two guys, Ken. Those quarterbacks didn't hold them guys back. You know what I mean? It's like, hey, go out there and be a gunslinger if that's what you are. And that's how you win in the NFL.
Well, you definitely want to enable your quarterback to do what's comfortable to him. But you don't if the guy is making what are bad decisions that he's not going to get away with in the NFL, we gotta reach a happy medium. And
my wife has something to say. Oh, my bad, about Lima. I just wanted to get that in.
No, wait a minute. I can't just. Is she going to get on the phone and say it?
Nah, we was in the car, and she's just convinced that Lima hates the Shadorians. She just said you always trolling, but
called him the Shadorians
with him, bro. Yeah,
Chuck, thank you very much. Lima, what's your retort to Chuck? I wish you and your
Lima,
wife.
You never talk when I call, bro.
Years of happiness. What's going on?
You know what? I wish. To be honest here for a second, I'll throw out the olive branch here. I wish the Shador fans would have a little bit more of a sense of humor. I feel like that's missing in a lot of the Shador conversations. They lead, every Shador conversation leads with, we're out to get him. We have coded language that we have other ulterior motives for not liking him. When you could just kind of tune in and see where our conversations go.
But if you're having conversations, I'll tell you this, Chuck, maybe you agree with me. I know we're up against it here. When you're having conversations for the last 4 years with people who just hate him for whatever reason and don't make no damn sense for why they hate the guy, it's going to be hard to have if they don't know you before.
Well, and they didn't hear
it's going to be hard to have a sense of humor.
They didn't hear me and you talk about him for the last few years.
Yes.
Well, they all in Browns prison now. I know that.
Welcome to the party.
Oh, my God.
Thank God.
Thank you, Chuck.